Hi, welcome to Time to Heal. Welcome to this free Facebook group. I'm Linda. Sorry, glasses. I stepped on a pair and then I sat on a pair, so I went and bought these big round ones. And, oh well, they'll at least I can see when they're on. So welcome. I thought I would pick the topic this week of what does it mean? How do I know I have a wound, right? What does that mean? Why are you talking about these wounds all the time? Well, last week, or the last couple of weeks, actually, I've held a healing night, and some different things have come up. And if you want to catch those, they're down below. And last week, I don't know what happened, and I'm hoping that this is streaming live. It says it is. I don't know what happened to the recording last week. So I threw the replay in there, but I didn't realize. So I apologize for that. So the replay should definitely be in view down below. Last week and before, we were starting out at 10s, 10 on a scale from 0 to 10, right? 10 being off the charts, Scotty, beam me up, right? Get me out of here. And 0 being you and even, wouldn't even bother showing up to such an event. So starting out at 10 is pretty high on that anxiety register, or that stress and overwhelm. And some people actually, I think everybody's showing up with pain in their body, because that's where that's how that happens. That's the whole dynamic. We have this thought that triggers an emotion that's tied to a wound of some kind, and it then shows up. If we can't clear it, if we don't let that go, we hold on to it, and we have a way of doing that because we're human. It goes into the body somewhere. People are showing up around tax time with a lot of pain in their back of their neck and on their shoulders, and they pretty much alleviated that by the end of the call. You can go back and see that, but I do recall they went like from 10 to 2, or couldn't really even come up with a number anymore. So when people say to me, gosh, I don't know what my number is anymore, then I know we've really moved something big. So that's the name of the game. And when you're clearing a wound or pain or whatever it is in your space or in your body, it's not about going from that 10 to 0. I mean, frankly, for a lot of people starting out, I've had people that it took them time just to go from 10 to a 9, and even that is a reduction, right? That's still big. You're going from 10 to 5, halving it. That's mind blowing right there. We can deal with things when we're at 10, we're shut down. When we're at 10, we're shut down. When we get it down to 5 or below, we can maybe still have a little fear, maybe still have that, trying to make the steps, trying to pick up the phone and make the sales calls, trying to do the thing that for the fundraiser, or, whatever, thing you got going on, that you stop yourself. That's the wound coming up. That's the fear. That's the whatever coming up in your space. And it tends to want to create some stress and anxiety. And so that you will leave it alone. You'll back off. You'll save the system. The system is under a threat. Mayday, mayday. How threatening is it to pick up the phone and make a phone call? There's no threat. But the unconscious mind perceives this as very uncomfortable. It doesn't want to be judged. It doesn't want to be mistreated. It doesn't want to hear any harsh words. It's, let's just go take a nap. Squirrel, anyone? Right. So these are the things that come up to distract us from our goals, because this is a real big problem. It's a huge problem. And it's not just with you and me or somebody else in our life. Why isn't he getting off the couch? Why isn't he doing the thing that he needs to do to go get the job, or to go, make more money, or to go start the business, to go get the clients? What's happening here? What's happening is the unconscious mind is feeling unsafe and shutting that person down. And it doesn't matter how much you scold or push or nudge or yell at or anything else. In fact, that just makes it worse. It makes that little, that part inside, because there's all these little parts that make up who we are. And they're just like, no, not doing that. It's not safe. I'm staying right here. I'm staying put on the couch. So that's the dynamic of that in a nutshell. We could go into a whole big technical explanation of that, but that pretty much sums it up right there. So how do you know you have a wound? Well, first of all, we all have a wound. We all go through a wounding phase in life. And it looks, and again, I like to kind of keep things simple and in a nutshell. Again, really big explanation. But for our purposes here, when we're small, first of all, when we're born, we're just a clean slate. Right. I remember when I got a puppy and the lady handed me his 4-month-old puppy, which is old for a puppy. There's a clue number one. There was something wrong with the puppy. So, but anyway, he was a great puppy in the end, but yeah, he needed some work. But she handed this puppy, says he's a clean slate, which meant that we needed to be the ones who programmed him. She didn't potty train him at all. He came home and messed all over the place. He was pretty smart. He was an Australian Shepherd and he trained very quickly. Very smart, but buddy and great dog. But we are born a clean slate. We're blank, and we get all this information put into us by the environment, by our parents, by our grandparents, by our teachers, by siblings, you name it. And we are just bombarded for the first, especially 2 years, but the first, 2 to 7 years, all of this incoming, we're just absorbing it all like a sponge, and we're getting messages about who we are and what we are and how we interact with the world and what the world thinks of us. And we make it mean stuff about us, right? And this is how the world is. This is our definition of the world. And we take that definition of the world from that wounded child, because maybe I had an older sibling that always told me that I was stupid, that I wasn't good enough. Maybe my parents neglected me, didn't pay attention to, never said how special I was, right? And that you carry that through your childhood. It means, wow, I'm not good enough, right? Add religious programming onto that. I'm Catholic here. I'm not worthy. Whew, that's huge. That's a big one. That's programmed into us from when we're very, very small. And we take these types of wounds, and there's several other, but those are 2 big ones. I think I'm getting my point across at this point. Let me know. But the wounds go inside of us, and quite frankly, we push them down every time they start to come up, and they get triggered all the time. Somebody says something, mom looked at me sideways. Uh-oh. Right? Fear comes up. Right? Public speaking is a huge one. People would rather die than go stand up in front and do a public. I know, I've been there, done that. Look at where I am now. I'm talking to you on this and spreading it all over the place. But, there was a time when I was freaked out by standing up in that 10th grade English class and having to give an oral book report. It was horrible, horrific. I would have rather died in that moment. In fact, I thought I was going to. So these wounds that happen very, very young, they get triggered. And you know where they get triggered the most? They get triggered the most with the people that we're around, the people that we work with, our families, and especially with the people that we end up in romantic relationships with, right? Or the universe sends to us, but we pick them out. We say, our unconscious mind is going for that imago. It's going for my mommy and daddy all wrapped up in one, but it's not looking for all the good. It's looking for the good and all the really bad, all the bad stuff, all the mean things they did and said to us that we took in as small children, right? Bad parenting. Could have been the best parents in the world, but we still could have made something, a look or a gesture or something mean something negative about ourselves. That's what I'm talking about. Because we made it mean something. It was that definition that we gave it. Could have had, the best parents in the whole wide world. Still, you're wounded, especially you're carrying on their wound, right? My I'm not good enough wound goes to my kids, unless I find it, clear it, and I can clear it for the whole family line. Shows up when you get triggered. You have a wound when you're having an overreaction, when fear comes up around something. So think of something that you need to do it. You haven't done it yet. You've been putting it off. You're allowing those squirrels to come and distract you. That's what I'm talking about. That thing, that kind of feeling, the sensation, the angsty feeling. It could be anxiety, could be overwhelm. That's a great way to shut us down. Unconscious mind says, oh, that's not safe. Close it down. So that's how the wounds show up. That's what they look like. And there's a long list of them. We have taken a lifetime to develop these. They developed very early, but we developed them even more. We piled them on. We have mountains of wounds down in here. And a lot of people are, that manifests later on in things like cancer, serious autoimmune diseases, unless we can find a way to let that out. And that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here doing here. That's what we're here doing all of this work for. It is the work. It's the work. So I just wanted to come in and kind of clarify a little bit about that, because some people, oh, I don't have any wounds. We all have wounds. We don't just have one. We have multiple wounds. We are unconscious of them. They come up when we least expect it, and it's showing up when we are reacting to something. So pay attention to how are you reacting, right? What are your actions? What are you not doing? Think about, why am I not doing that? Find the sensation in the body. What's that feeling? What comes up for you? Take the steps. Get a goal out that you haven't done in a while, or something that you've been working on. Go ahead and take the steps for that. And that wound's going to come up. It's going to come up. It's going to show you exactly what it is. That's the gold. That's the goal. If you'd like to learn more about this, if you need some help getting through that wound, because they can get you so stuck. They are so good at that. So that's what I do. DM me and we can have a conversation and see how we can get you unstuck. So go have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Let me know below. Do you know what your wound is? What's your wound, right? Let me know. And as you find it this week, also put it in the comments. Write a post. You guys can write posts in here. I would love to hear exactly how that came up for you. Bye for now.